In honor of being in Corsica, the birthplace of Napoleon, we will be learning the tiniest amount of music theory today, and it is just going to be one chord that you're playing right away. We're on the road. I got the Donner Hush X Pro. We're going to talk more about this car later. But we're talking about the Neapolitan 6th chord, okay? Now, aside from being a chord that ChatGPT thinks has something to do with Napoleon, it actually is from Naples, and it's used in classical music, but I think there's like something we can take from this as guitar players. They can maybe change your chord progressions up, make them more interesting. Basically, all it is it is a major chord used on the flat second degree. Generally used as an inversion. We'll talk about all this stuff. But let's say we're in the key of C major, right? C major 7. The second note in C is D. D minor would be the chord that you'd use. So a general cadence chord progression in this key would be like a 2, 5, 1, which would be D minor, G, 7, C. Okay? Now, the Neapolitan chord would be a flat 2 major chord. Remember, the 2 in C is D, so if we flatten that, we have D flat, C sharp, D flat. Same note for all intents and purposes. Now, if we had a major chord there, we get that. All right, so we got a couple notes here that are not in the key. I will link you to a video that goes way more in depth on the music theory. I just want to simplify this and talk about using this as just kind of like an extra chord and where you can use this. But we've got this flat 2 major chord that generally is going to set up the 5 chord and back home. Okay? So if I'm just kind of jamming and then I go from a 2-5-1, we're going to go flat 2-5-1 after that. Okay? So 1, 2, 5, 1, Neapolitan. Okay, so it definitely has a lot more tension, and not the kind of tension that you experience returning a rental car to Rome, which is insane actually, but just like a little bit of tension. Now technically, to be like a Neapolitan 6 chord, you're supposed to use the first inversion of this where the third comes first, right? Where we have like maybe an F in the bass. And it's supposed to kind of take the spot of the 4 chord, okay? So I was doing a 2-5-1. You could easily do like a 1-4-5-1 like this. In the key of C would be 1, 4, 5, 1. As compared to 1, flat 2, 5, 1. Okay? So, just interesting things that you could use really anywhere. Now, the other cool thing about this is it's just as easily used in minor keys. So let's go to a minor key, something like A minor, right? And I'll just use these as minor 7 chord voicings, right? So I've just got the 5th fret all the way down, skip the A string, right? Now a 1, 4, 5, 1 in minor, in A minor would be A minor, D minor, E minor, A minor. Okay, so if we're thinking in a minor key, I always like kind of like relating everything back to a major key. So even though I'm playing A minor, D minor, E minor, A minor, I'm still thinking of this usually as being the key of C, but technically if you want to think of yourself as in a minor key, the first thing that you can do is actually take that 5 chord and make it major, but as a dominant 7 chord, and then release your hand. So it's all about just kind of like building tension and taking yourself on a journey, just like you can take yourself on a journey with a Donner guitar. I'm going to do a song with this in a second at the next location. Right now I'm in Corsica, island of France. You guys definitely check it out. Not easy to get to, I will say. This is not an easy place to get to, guys. But we do it for the love of music theory, right? But yeah, so we've got a 1, 4, 5, dominant 7, 1. Now we do the same thing. We can think of like a flat 2, right? I think this is actually really cool because if I were just gonna maybe even just take them on one string, so we got A minor, B minor, E minor, A minor. What if I went flat 2 major? That's like such a vibe going from the 1 minor chord. So just something that you can do is like a really quick little thing, flat 2 major chord, whether you're in major or minor. It works. Again, this is really more of like a classical move. Bach, Beethoven, a lot of old school composers did it, but there is a place for it in just kind of jamming around on guitar. So let's get to the next location, and maybe I'll do a little song with the Donner Hush X Pro. All right, so today I am at a Italian countryside villa to actually demonstrate the power of having a travel guitar. So this is the Donner Hush X Pro. I've done some videos on this before. I opted to not play it with the arms. I actually kind of like just having it just like this and just either holding it and practicing. Again, this one's really cool. I also have these Tozo headphones that I've been using with them. Yeah, basically just go headphone output. They also work as like just kind of wireless Bluetooth headphones, but that's what I've been practicing with. And I kind of wanted to do a little song on it because I'm in like one of the most beautiful locations in the world. So we're gonna do it. I just have this DJI mic with the windscreen. I've got my back turned to the wind. It might be windy. I have no idea how this is gonna sound, but basically super simple setup. I just have my iPhone camera, the mic, the Donner Hush X Pro going into my Apogee interface, and then I'll sync the mic audio later. But this is super valuable to have on a trip. It does fit in a bigger checked bag. I've had a few questions about that, and I wanted to kind of put that to bed because yeah, super light, adds like a pound to your bag, but let's try it out. It's funny the things we remember and the stories we choose to forget. Yeah, I dive so deep, the good that I've done, all my missteps float to the surface. But there's one thing I don't have to search for. I can see it now clear as the day we met between the ship and shore, where I let my anchor to stay. Yeah, I was a hand with a pension for missing unfortunate fame. She worked in a shop and made candles, a gift in a wax and a flame. Yeah, all my life she was a beacon, a light that would guide my way home. Attached to the heart and not the head, I'd follow wherever she'd go. And I can't recall, oh, a better match, so easy as the breeze. Back to the bars with the vagrants, no company worthy of her. I whispered a promise to take her away if him in the ends of the earth. And I think we both knew it was wishful, but she couldn't stand her eye in the sea. The years passed us by as ships in the night, but the time didn't matter to me. How it changes, the salt in the air can weigh a man down, but we tarnish and never to rust. I never made good on my promise, but we built a fine house on the hill. Lived out our days, the high and low times, to the season when she became ill. And I prayed to the heavens above us, bargaining if they could take me instead. She lit a candle, took my hand, and through the flame she said, yeah, there's a place you can find me. Oh, darling, I'll be waiting for you to join me between the ship and the shore.